So when we develop a vehicle, we put equal emphasis on interior, exterior, powertrain, everything. However, the gap we had to close on interiors was much greater than it was on the other topics. We left a lot of potential on the table on past interiors, didn't really hit the mark, and exposed ourselves to rightful criticism from the public, the media, and our customers. So what we had to do over the last, let's say, 3 years when we were working on this wave of new vehicles, the 16 vehicles, we had to raise the bar. We had to define a new standard for interiors for Chrysler. The simple thing, the easy thing is asking for more money, and in some part we got that. It helped us providing the customer with better materials, not hard plastic anymore, but nice soft materials in all the places you'll touch. But more important for us in interior design was to be clever with our time, with our resources, including the money. It's always easy to receive money and spend it, but the real breakthrough for us was the way we worked as a team with our partners and friends in engineering and coming up with clever solutions that would allow us to be able to create this wonderful interiors that we now have without commanding a price that only like a premium player can command. So I think we were able to deliver something very affordable, yet very premium. We work, when you come to any of our meetings, whether it was over the last 3 years or even today, and you come into one of these meeting rooms, you probably will struggle to find out who's the designer and who's the engineer. We really were successful tearing down these chimneys, which I think is the single biggest breakthrough for us to succeed. There is no us versus them anymore. It's only we as a company. And we will have engineers who will make suggestions on content and styling. As a matter of fact, this beautiful little chrome bezel that we have on the Durango center stack was a suggestion that came from the engineering side, not from a designer. At the same time, you will find that the designers will comment on, is this really doable? Can we repeatedly build this on high quality? So the lines have really blurred between what in the past was the ivory tower of design and then engineering on the other side of the wall, and we would just throw things over. We really work as a team, and that's been very successful for us. There were two major things we had to look at in terms of materials. One is creature comfort. Very, very simple, and it's almost embarrassing how we were able to fail on that in the past. Soft armrests. The fact that I have to mention that we now have soft armrests is in itself embarrassing. But we do now. In the case of the Durango, for example, actually all the way back to the third row. I think we're the only ones out there that actually provide soft armrests even all the way back in the third row. Comfortable seating. The steering wheel leather has been severely upgraded. You now touch this beautiful sensual leather which really feels nice to the hand and kind of conveys a sense of quality. So that's one thing, everything you touch as a customer. But then there are other things that you might or might not touch, like let's take the instrument panel, for example. We went on most of our interiors to soft material for the instrument panel. Now, people might appreciate that when they touch it, but in reality, you're not likely to touch the instrument panel on a daily basis. The key really was with a soft instrument panel is it allowed us to achieve perfect fit and finish. And it's very easy to imagine. If you have two hard pieces, you want to keep them away by a device called a gap. And the reason you provide that gap is so those hard parts don't touch and don't create a squeak or a noise. Okay. Now, when you have one of those two parts soft, you can have the hard part biting into it, providing a 0 millimeter gap. That's why in the design office and as a company, as a matter of fact, we like using soft materials for the instrument panel. Not for you to touch it, not so much for safety head impact, that's what the airbag is for, but really to provide a tool for us to have those bezels and parts we need to put into an instrument panel, bite into something soft and provide a 0 millimeter gap. And in addition to that, these tools are so advanced these days that we don't have to break up the instrument panel in multiple pieces anymore. Mm-hmm. We can have a one-piece large instrument panel, and if you have only one piece, that means there are no gaps, there are no multiple opportunities for misbuild, and that again has been a major breakthrough for us. Yeah, if you for example you look at our minivan, both the Grand Caravan as well as the Town and Country, the previous generation was almost like a puzzle. There were so many pieces that provided unfortunate opportunity for bad fit and finish. And we've changed that. We went to single piece instrument panel. Now when I say single piece, it means that the fundamental piece of the instrument panel is one piece. You still have little bezels, of course, that are sunken in and nicely done. But overall, the carrier is one piece. So we get much more structure and, again, less opportunity for misbuild. Well, it's like asking me, like, which of my kids do I like most? Every interior we've done has a special story. The stories vary. You can look at the Dodge Ram, which was the first that came out with this new philosophy of beautiful materials and quality in mind. The Grand Cherokee that followed up and really established us as someone who's to be recognized. But even from then on, whether it's the minivans, the 300, the Charger, the Durango, all these vehicles, even down to the Wrangler, all these vehicles carried a special story because for us in the design office, as well as our friends in engineering, it's not like just doing something and move on with your life. Creating an interior is a very passionate thing. That is something that comes from the heart. So it is really like, you know, giving birth. Not that I've physically done that, but it's like giving birth to a child, and then to expose it to the world out there, and then thankfully getting some very positive comments and feedback from the media and also from the first customers that have been exposed to this product. That's the perfect dream. That's all we can ask for. What you've seen now coming out from us is just the first step into that direction. It's a fundamental, major step, a step that took a lot of people by surprise and established us as someone who is recognized of being able to build beautiful interiors, high-quality interiors. Now we're going to have much more fun with them. Now that we've established a new baseline of quality and materials and soft touch points, now we can have more design fun with it. And what I mean with that is you're going to see us play a little bit more with color, and that does not mean we're going to have clown cars on the interiors, but it's going to mean that we're going to continue to move away from, you know, past generation where we just had excessive use of gray to something that is much more tasteful now, but you're going to see more sparkle of nice, finely executed details in different colors, a little more surprises in the future, as well as the overall aesthetic language. I think our interiors right now are beautiful. Some of them might even be timeless designs. Going forward, we're going to have a little more fun. We're going to continue to refine what every brand stands for. Jeep being the fun brand with a lot of ecological awareness. We have Dodge, the driver car with a lot of attitude, with a lot of fun for the driver. And then of course we have Chrysler, a brand that we're reinventing, a brand that stands for American craftsmanship and American style. And while our current generation of interiors is already addressing these different characters, we're gonna refine them and define them in a much better way. Let's put it this way. I think when I think of the work that's happening actually behind the wall that we're looking at here, I think the team is equally excited about what we do right now than as excited as we were back in 2008, 2009. Back in those days when people thought, you know, Chrysler's dead, and we had the fortune to be in the design office and being exposed to all the beautiful stuff that now launched, we were really looking forward to 2010, 2011, to all these launches. And the team on both sides, design and engineering, we're equally excited now than we were back then to launch, you know, to work on the vehicles that will launch in the years to come.